How do you think the manosphere affects young people, and why is it growing?
I think that, at least from my experience with teaching boys that I know watch these types of videos, they think it's funny, as in like they think they're making fun of the creators that are saying these things, but really it's not about that. They might find it a little bit funny, but they're putting their likes and their energy and their time to watching these people, right? So then the more people are sharing them, going, oh, look at this, well funny, then they're growing and their platforms are growing bigger. And then when they're really popular, these creators, then even if like 1,000 people watch it and go, oh yeah, that's a load of rubbish, one person might see it, one young man might see it and go, actually, I really believe in what this guy's saying. And I think that I stand for all these views against women and things like that. And even the people that are still watching and still laughing at it, thinking that it's funny, you're still giving them a platform, and that's how it's growing. And it's a toxic culture. Men want to be involved, unfortunately. So,
do you see misogyny rising through young people, especially within like the growth of the manosphere and toxic masculinity?
I do think misogyny has always kind of been present, and I've experienced it myself. I've experienced like inappropriate comments that have been made to me, and that have been made to other people. So, for example, like if a girl and a boy do something, the girl's like gets name called for it, whereas the boy gets praised for it. And I think that sort of subtle thing has always been there, but it became more noticeable to me when I started to have comments made, and these assumptions that are made about me through people that maybe don't know me.
I currently work in an export department where I have to speak to different people from all over the world, and currently a lot of the callers don't want to speak to me because I'm a woman. It's mainly from countries where women are not treated equally.
Have you noticed an increase in misogynistic behaviour with young boys as the manosphere and the red pill ideology has increased online?
We have been doing a lot of work over the last few years to try and support all of our children in all of the risks and things that they might come across online. So I think we have seen an increase in some of the language that I wouldn't want to hear at school. So there are some references that might be misogynistic or that might be racist or anti-Semitic. So as a school, we're trying to help educate the children as to what that language is and why they shouldn't be using it, but also being firm in our response to that.
Can you tell us about any injustice you've experienced or you've seen and you've looked at and you've thought, that wasn't okay, that was wrong?
As you can see, a white woman, the injustice I have faced so far, luckily in my life, has been quite limited. I can tell you about of instances where at a works anniversary party of someone who celebrated 25 years with the company, somebody came up to me after I said, 25 years, that's a long time. And they said, well, you won't get there. And I said, well, why wouldn't I? And that man said to me, well, you're going to be having children and then you won't be coming full time back into the office. So there was an assumption made that A, I was going to have children, and B, that I was not returning full time, all from a man's perspective, that that is the way things are in the society.
Some businesses are generally quiet in the day. Businesses that really welcome group education in some form. So it's good for them as a business to get some business within the daytime hours when they're normally, it's like an off-peak time. So, for example, there's a local climbing centre where we've managed to, pull a group of homeschool kids together and go on a climbing course, which, wouldn't normally be in the general curriculum of high school. and now is it's available to homeschool kids at a relatively lower cost than it would cost in the evening, because it's an off-peak hour. It's not normally busy at that period of time, so the businesses support homeschool classes, which is really good. And it's not the only one. There's several in the area that we've done with you, obviously, with skiing, snowboarding, climbing, art. There's a local art class that you've been doing. What else have we done? Gymnastics. Yeah. So there's lots of businesses in the area that, if they're not currently doing a homeschool class, if you approach them, quite likely they will, get a number of kids together, and there's definitely support there financially, and then you get together and other kids get together in groups, and it's great the socializing, and you get to then learn a sport or an activity that you wouldn't normally get the chance to do. So that really opens the door. That really, it's different than to normal school. And I know we touched on this earlier, but it gives you the ability to create. And obviously you've created your own soap business, which is, incredible. And, you get to learn how to operate a business. Like, you don't get that opportunity in high school. And, that's real life. That's the big wide world. That's reality. And, you now can create your own, future in whatever it is. When you've got the experience of running a small business, you can apply that to anything, to any other business. You can create your own future. You can create your own job, and you can create jobs. That's massively important. There's not enough people out there. There's not enough entrepreneurs out there creating opportunity and creating jobs. So, that's what homeschooling does. It brings out the creative side of your potential, and you get real life, real world experience. And, where's that going to take you? It could be anywhere, That's an opportunity. That's an amazing opportunity.
What's your name?
Emily Rauschenberger.
And where are you from?
I'm from the U.S., near Chicago.
What do you miss about when you lived in America?
Oh, I miss my family probably the very most. I have two brothers that live there, and my parents still live there, so I really miss them. America itself, though, I miss the great food. I miss all the different sights you can see. It's a huge country, so you can go from desert to mountains to, huge cities. And us Americans love to drive. So I just miss the open road and the good food and the family, and miss it a lot.
How did you ever come to England?
That was a long time ago. In 2007, I moved here. I had studied abroad during university in London, and so I really liked England a lot. America's great, but, I was looking for international experience. So I took a job and moved to England in 2007. So technically I've been here since then.
How long have you been? So you've been here. Have you stayed in England all that time?
No, actually, so it's been since 2007. So I've been here almost 20 years, but there was 2.5 years I moved outside. So my kids and I went to Jordan, and we had, I got a job there. And so we moved there in 2021 to 2023, we moved to Jordan.
How was Jordan compared to how it was in England?
It was much warmer and sunnier. It's very nice. No, I love Jordan. It was, it was a great cultural experience. Their food is amazing. It's just a beautiful city, Amman. And there's so many cultural sites to see around, like Petra and Wadi Rum, which is this amazing desert in the south of Jordan. And my kids learned some Arabic. So that was good. And we had some extended family there on your dad's side. So yeah, it was a great experience.
How long did you stay in Jordan?
2 years. Then we moved to Gaza, again, to be with my husband's family. But that didn't last long because the October 7th happened. And so.
How was Gaza at the time you stayed there?
Well, before the war started, it was beautiful. It was hot, but it was wonderful to see family. We lived, with family all around in houses. So, my kids played and they went to school and they had such a wonderful experience getting to know their family. When the war came, it was very difficult. We were displaced on the third day of the war. So we had to leave our homes basically and flee the area since Israel said it was going to bomb our area. And we ended up finally taking shelter in an apartment near the Mediterranean Sea, the beach. And there was about 30 of us family members in this one little apartment. And there was lots of bombing. There was limited food. The water ran out. So it was always difficult every day to go find food and water. So that was about a month until we got out. And we came back to England. And so I'm back in England.
How was it coming back to England after all the other places you've been to?
It was the same place we'd been before, but it felt quite different now. I think things had changed over 2.5 years. And I think my family had changed. We had such a wide range of experiences when we moved to Jordan and Gaza. So it was very nice to be back, but it was, the kids went to different schools and, I had a different job. And so it was, but it was good to be back too. We see old friends, and just reacclimate to England. So I think we're now, well and settled, but it was hard the first year and also hard leaving our family in Gaza. So it was, yeah.
That sounds good. Good answer. Stop.
Start with a warm-up question. Producers usually ask, what did you have for breakfast?
Breakfast.
Брати! Привіт всім в суботньому клубі. Це моє інтерв'ю. І це моя мама Ірина. Так, і це на тему дискримінації.
Для мене дискримінація – це обмеження за якимись ознаками, обмеження прав за якимись ознаками. І це може бути гендерна дискримінація, або з релігійними ознаками, або ж за кольором шкіри. Тобто це все, що обмежує права за якимись ознаками.
До речі, я так помітив, що якщо ти щось проговоришся, то пофіг ніхто і так мову не голосує.
Так. Так, вже була дуже давно. Я хотіла, щоб була студенткою, хотіла записатися в секцію дзюдо. Але післярадянська така історія, більшість таких секцій – це всі секції для хлопчиків. І ми з моєю подружкою шукали спортивну якусь секцію, куди піти, і знайшли секцію дзюдо. І коли ми туди прийшли, то перше, що було, коли ми прийшли просто так, просто взяли форму і прийшли. Тренер нам дозволив займатися, але це було дуже якось, він був дуже здивований. І, в його, очах цих хлопців, хто займалися, це було, як вони сміялися з нас.
Тобто відношення таке було?
Це було так не відкрито, але вони на нас дивилися, як на якихось, таких звірюшок, які якось випадково потрапили в це, Ми походили там 3 заняття, але до нас не було, якось, тобто ніхто не звертав дуже уваги, щоб, якось нас там поправляти, чи що, якось робити, якось з легкістю робити ці заняття. І тому ми перестали. По-перше, я можу зараз взагалі можу сказати про це в обличчя. Або ж, якщо це не впливає на якийсь результат в моєму житті, наприклад, тобто це нічого не міняє в моєму житті, я можу на це взагалі не звертати уваги, тому що це ніяким чином мене не обмежує. Це десь там, мене, можливо, десь всередині ображає, але взагалі там нічого не міняє. Але якщо б це реально впливало і міняло, і не давало мені можливості якось себе проявити, по-перше, зараз дуже багато, якщо це, наприклад, там якісь державні органи, то можна писати скарги, або якщо це людина, яка це робить дуже явно, я про це також скажу. Тобто я не буду там боятися цього, але останнім часом, мені здається, цього всім менше і менше. Це влада, тому що таким чином одна людина возвеличується над іншою людиною, а особливо, якщо ця людина дуже вразлива в чомусь, то такі люди, просто розуміючи свою владу над такими людьми, вони звеличуються, або ж в своїх якихось інтересах якось обмежують ці права. Тільки для цього. Для мене, мені здається, чим більше людей ти обмежуєш в чомусь, то ти обмежуєш в першу чергу своє якось середовище. Тому що ці люди можуть бути там талановиті, цікаві, можуть принести якісь цікаві ідеї. А тим, що ти цих людей не допускаєш до якоїсь реалізації чогось, тобто ти не маєш доступу до цих якихось цікавих речей. І суспільство, воно ж, цивілізація не йде по шляху в мінус, вона повинна йти по шляху в плюс, вона повинна розвиватися. А якщо є такі обмеження і є використання влади одних людей над іншими в такому розрізі, за якимось там ознаками типу кольору шкіри, то це не про розвиток, це про якусь диктатуру, це про, знову ж таки, обмеження, коли одні люди використовують свою владу над іншими. І це, для мене це про розвиток.
Це можеш якось виход зробити. З вами була Ірина.
Це саме була Ірина.
If you had the chance, would you vote for or against the ban of social media for under 16s?
Definitely, I am agreeing with the ban being in place because I think it's not needed. You don't need to use social media below 16. And I know it's going to be difficult to kind of accept the fact that somebody's going to be taken away from people. But I don't think it's needed, and it causes a lot of mental health issues, especially to the younger generation.
I don't think they should do it because most people depend on social media for help and support, and because people can go to message their mates on Snapchat and use TikTok to ask what's happening with things and how to deal with things. So I don't think it's a good thing.
I don't think social media can ever fix anything or help with mental health whatsoever.
With Snapchat, I got added into a bunch of group chats and people started on me saying that they were gonna do horrible things to me, and it's negatively impacted me on my mental health.
I think social media makes the mental health problem bigger rather than helping it.
Since we've already had social media for that long, people depend on it. So I think it's already too late to ban it when already depend on it so much.
So maybe instead of using social media to relieve stress, what's something else you recommend people could do?
Be present with yourself, be present with people in real time, and just go out, have walk, be in nature, just be, rather than constantly be bombarded by information on other people, how they look, what they do, where they are, what they have achieved. You don't need that. I think real connection is the most important thing that people need these days.
Since we started making our film, Keir Starmer has said that he will ban social media platforms for under 16s. This includes TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and X.
I disagree with the ban happening because since we already depend on social media so much, we feel like there's no need in like changing it and making it like banned, because we use it for help and if we need anything and if we can't talk to people in person.
I disagree with the social media ban because as teenagers and kids, we depend on social media a lot to help with homework and what we do, especially because AI is coming in. It's just, we really need it, and I don't think it's gonna like benefit us in any way.